You can start now.
All right. Can you start us off?
Yeah, now. You can start now.
Sure. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Thank you for coming today. If you may, Brother Ali, just start with a dua, and then I'll go ahead from there.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. رب لا تذرني فردا وأنت خير الوارثين. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين.
Thank you. Today we're continuing our discussion on the 10th word. We're focusing on a couple of pages today, pages 122 and to pages 124. Just as a reminder from previous lessons or previous discussions, we've been talking about eternal life or eternity in general. And last time specifically, we were trying to tie in the pillars of belief with eternity. So today we will focus on belief in the prophethood or the books and how that is related to belief in eternity. So we're going to start reading from page 122, the very last, before last paragraph. Similarly, the innermost essence of life symbolically proves the pillar of belief in the prophets. For the cosmos was created for the sake of life, and life is in turn one of the supreme manifestations of the living, self-subsistent, and eternal one. It is one of his most perfect designs, one of his most beauteous arts. Further, the eternal life of God shows itself only through the sending of messengers and the revelation of books. If there were no books or prophets, then eternal life would remain unknown. When a man speaks, he is recognized to be alive. Similarly, it is the prophets and revealed books that make manifest the words and decrees of the being, who from behind the world of the unseen, that is veiled by the cosmos, speaks, talks, and emits his commands and prohibitions. Just as the life existent in the cosmos bears decisive witness to the necessary existence of the living and eternal one, so too does it point to and indirectly confirm the pillars of belief in the sending of messengers and the revelation of scriptures. For these are the rays, the manifestations, and the relations of that eternal life, and especially the messengership of Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and the Quranic revelation, since they are alike, the very spirit and intellect of life. Their veracity is as indisputable as the existence of this life. Okay, when I first read the paragraph, I had to sort of break it down. What is it really saying? So if you all can see the screen, I tried to see what is the author trying to build a relationship, or how is he connecting cosmos and life and prophets together. So at the beginning of the paragraph, he's saying, well, cosmos is basically was created for the sake of life. And life is in turn the manifestation of the living and self-subsistent and eternal one. So everything is reflecting the other thing. So life is the manifestation of the living, self-subsistent and eternal one is reflected in life, which is shown to us in the cosmos. And I had a question before we move on. What is this name really saying? What is the name suggesting about the creator? If anyone has any ideas, what do you think the name is suggesting?
No one is speaking, so I wanted to just join you and make it an interactive discussion.
Mm-hmm.
I understand if life exists here and if we fail or cannot find any evidence that the life occurs on Earth by itself or through activities of matter, then I have to look for the source of existence of life, and this source of existence of life must be himself a living being. But the source of existence of life is not of the same nature of the universe. It must be necessarily the creator of the whole universe. And we can only describe this creator as not a created being, which means self-subsistent one. It means doesn't need and is not dependent on anything else for its existence. Otherwise, it cannot be the source of existence of the whole universe as we see it here. So self-subsistent refers to the creators not being in need of anything. And eternity is also means, since he must be logically uncreated or free from the need of being created, it must be itself eternal. So the life on earth witnesses this to the source of existence is himself must be an absolutely living one. It means eternally living one without time limitations. That's what I got.
Thank you very much. We also got another response in the chat, which says eternal one implies unity of essence and behind or beyond time. because eternal does not change, and change occurs only in time. And self-subsisting means subsisting by self, which means creator creating in the image of self. Okay, that's very new to me. Thank you for sharing that understanding. Thank you, Brother Ali and Monica, for that. I think also what the author was trying to point to is then, okay, well, how do we know of the eternal life of God? How do we know of it? And then it goes on and says, well, the eternal life of God shows itself only through the sending of messengers and revelation of books. If there were no books or prophets, then eternal life would remain unknown. So it's as if he's saying, because of the words and the prophets, we are able to tell or confirm that there is an eternal life of God. And then it's explaining this by saying, well, when a man speaks, he is recognized to be alive. Similarly, it is the prophets and revealed books that make manifest the words and decrees of the being. So again, the words and the prophets, because of their existence, we can then confirm the existence of the eternal life of God. I just wanted to show this, the connections, because later we're going to see, well, how do all of these come together? The cosmos, the words, the prophets, and confirming the eternity of a God, or eternity in general. Before I move into the next paragraph, does anybody want us to pay attention to a particular phrase or sentence, or have any reflections or questions from here?
I would say the necessity of sending the prophets and messages represents the books. So the relationship between sending the message and the messenger who represents the message and presents to us is related, as far as our subject is concerned, to the matter of existence of the eternal life. So it comes to human mind that, yes, the Creator is an eternally living one. Must be so. I understood from the witnessing of the universe itself and the life in the existence of the cosmos. Okay, fair enough. And how do I know that he is going to give me some sort of immortality in the next creation, a kind of permanent existence? He is going to give me. That is why I need the message from the Creator. If I didn't have the message from the Creator, I wouldn't know that. I would say, okay, he is the eternal one. He has an infinite and eternal life. Otherwise, it cannot be the creator of life. I understand this logically. It makes sense to me. But how can I know that he will give me the eternal existence? How can I know that? That is why I need the message from the Creator revealing to me that he is going to give me the eternal existence in the next creation. It means, as far as he wills, of course, but he promises that he will give us never-ending life there. That is why we need messages and the message bearers, messengers. I understood from the text.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. Life is then the distilled essence of the cosmos. Consciousness and feelings are the distilled essence of life. The intellect is the distilled essence of consciousness. And the spirit, finally, is the pure, unsouled substance, the stable and autonomous essence that lies at the heart of life. Okay. Also, for that, I needed to make a graph that I'd like to share. So, again, the essence of the cosmos is life. The essence of life is consciousness and feelings. And then the essence of consciousness and feelings is the intellect. And the heart of life, the heart of all of this, would be the spirit. Okay. So too, the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, in both its outer and its inner aspects, is the distilled quintessence of life and the spirit of the cosmos. And the messengership of Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is the pure and distilled essence of the feeling, the consciousness, and the intellect of the cosmos. Rather, the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, in its outer and inner aspects is, as the centuries have borne witness, the very essence of the life of the cosmos. And the prophethood of Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is the very light and essence of the consciousness of the cosmos. The Quranic revelation is also the spirit of the life of the cosmos and the intellect of its consciousness. Okay, so another graph just to understand what is he really saying. So if we were to explain, or if I show you this graph, you would know that, okay, the spirit is the heart of the cosmos, the intellect is the essence of the consciousness, so on and so forth. But then now the author is suggesting the life of Muhammad is actually the essence of the cosmos, and the Quran would be the essence of life of Muhammad. And then the messengership and the prophethood would be the essence of the Quran. And then the Quran would also be the essence of, or the spirit, the Quran or spirit is the heart of life. So it's almost as if he's saying that life is exactly as if we're saying life of Muhammad. Consciousness and feelings, as if we're saying the word Quran. The intellect, as if we're talking about the messengership or the prophethood. The spirit, as if we're saying that's the Quran, or not but like equal to, or holds the same meaning, if you'd like. That's what he is suggesting, or how he's like seeing the whole picture, how the prophet and the Quran relate to life and the cosmos. Does anybody else see anything different? Go ahead, Brother Ali.
Not different. First of all, your graphs perfectly explain everything and helps us understand what's going on in these long sentences and paragraphs. I just wanted to add to what the graphs say. If I have an machine which works perfectly, but if I didn't know how to use it, is it any good for me? I don't know what is it for and how it is to be used. I don't know. It is no good for me as far as I understand. The perfection of the machine wouldn't help me anything because I didn't know how to use it, especially if it is something strange to me. It means I'm not familiar with it at all. So we are not familiar with the eternal life here. What we are familiar with is death. We are sent to this world and we are put to the progress of growing and then degrading in the quality of our existence and our life. And at the end, we are dead. So how am I going to be saved from falling into despair while the end of the tunnel is just non-existence? That is finished. That is, I cannot see anything more. My life becomes, if you like, dead. Although I am alive, but meaningless corpse, but moving corpse, if you like, with the message of the messengers. My life becomes alive because gets the good news that my feelings require, expect, that I don't want to die. No one wants to die. No one wants to lose the value of life they are given and they experienced here. So what we understand from this, that not the Muhammad's body is the spirit of life or spirit of cosmos, but the message that he represents makes it valuable. Like not my body is important, but the life, the quality of life in my body is important. If I wasn't given the life, my existence wouldn't mean anything to me. My consciousness would not be satisfied with anything because I don't really experience anything through my body at all. So the universe also would mean nothing to us if the message of the prophets were not presented to me. So what is the heart of the universe? What is the heart of the universe? Is the Quran, is the message of the Creator. Makes the whole universe alive and makes my life meaningful and eternal, full of hope. And that is why the heart of the universe becomes the Quran or the message of the Creator. And this is only possible through receiving the message through the prophet, messengers. So the spirit of the universe is the message of the messengers. So when we say Muhammad, it may be a little bit strange, but we have to say the prophet, the messenger Muhammad. Because what makes Muhammad valuable is the message I received through him for me. Otherwise, he's a body. I mean, there were many billions of people like that body. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a comment. Life contains cosmos, not the other way around. Life contains cosmos. Okay, so from life, cosmos emerges. Life as manifest, or Muhammad or Christ, mean the same. Through the Rasulullah, Muhammad or Christ, cosmos emerges, because Rasulullah is also Kalimatullah, through whom spirit as revealed in physicality emerges. He is the divine logos. Interesting. Thank you very much. Um, I had a question. Is there a difference between saying the life of the Prophet Muhammad and between saying the life of the Prophet Muhammad and the prophethood of Muhammad? It's a bit of I don't know if I should be paying such deep, like close attention to the words, but I was just wondering if the prophethood and the life is any different.
I mean, if you are talking about a prophet, what makes a prophet is his message. So we cannot separate it really. For example, if Muhammad, I'm speaking in general terms, was not the messenger, he would be nobody for me. Why I'm taking notice of him? Because of his messengership, his mission, if you like. That's why they require each other. We cannot separate Muhammad from being a messenger. So we have to say and emphasize that messenger of God, Muhammad, messenger Muhammad, or as Monica wrote, messenger Jesus Christ. So that's what we understand, what the spirit of or the heart of the universe becomes alive if there was no message. If there was no message, the whole universe would be dead, meaningless for me. That's why, as far as I am concerned, what makes the universe alive, what makes the universe worth taking notice of is the message. That's why I call it the heart of the message, the spirit of, heart of the universe, heart of the cosmos, heart is message of the messengers. Otherwise, the universe, even I am alive now, doesn't matter. Because I know I'm going to die and fall into disappear from existence as it appears to me within the conditions of the order of this universe. That is why there is a conflict between the conditions, apparent conditions of the universe, and my desire for eternal happiness. We have to solve this problem. Without the message of the creator of the universe, we cannot solve this message. Without the messengers, we cannot receive the message, because the creator is an absolute one. He must transfer his information through a human being so that I can communicate with him. Otherwise, personally, I am left with my feelings alone. So he must employ someone and educate this one to represent the message to me. So I will go and take the courses, if you like, from him, learn from his teachings, practical teachings, or conveying the message and putting it into a practical human life. It becomes very easy for me now what I understand from the message, because it is represented to me in the form of a man. That is why prophets must be a human being. Thank you.
Thank you. And I really appreciate the emphasis you're putting on the question of, well, how do I know if, how do I get out of the despair and confirm for myself eternal life for me? Yeah, thank you. Another message in the chat, I will read it. The message is life, with a capital L, because God is the eternal creator and eternal sustainer. the message is what has us. It is the message that has us so that we can say we have the message. It brings us closer to one with each recognition of the message within ourselves. Oh, deep. Thank you. So all of this is going to prepare us for the following paragraph. And I'd like to ask you to feel the words that we're about to sort of read together. So if the light of the messengership of Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, were to depart from the cosmos and vanish, the cosmos would die. That's just, I think it's very similar to what Brother Ali was explaining to us. If the Quran were to depart, the cosmos would lose its sanity and the globe would lose its sense and its head. Its dizzy, uncomprehending head would collide with a planet, and the end of the world would result. And just to sort of, this is really helping me with the idea of reflecting and about my end. If the light of the messengership has never arrived to me, or if the Quran has never reached me, or I've never given it my attention, then this would really affect me. I would lose my sanity, basically. And the end, just like what Brother Adi was saying, is like all we know of is that things end, but we need news to tell us that things actually keep going. Do we have anything to share here? Any questions? We're good.
Just I will repeat what I understood from your explanation, which is beautiful. The picture is depicted here to us is from our perspective, if we see it, but we don't know what the creator is going to do with it. That is not my business. My business is if I don't have the message from the revelation, from God's teaching, in my eye, the universe will be meaningless. It means insane, meaningless, even if in its perfection, it has no meaning. So for me, it would be just an imperfection, not perfection, imperfection. Why? Somebody makes a beautiful thing and then destroys it. It's crazy in my mind. So I would say the creator of the universe must be crazy if I did not have the message through the messengers. In my perspective, as you pointed out actually, but I wanted to emphasize on the importance of this description, this paragraph's description is from my perspective, human perspective. For me, it will be just meaningless and just really pointless creation, pointless existence. For me, it would be. I'm going to die, why should I bother about anything? The things are beautiful, none of my business. But I don't make any sense of it. Yeah, like the example I gave, a young girl received a bunch of flowers, beautiful flowers representing the love of another person. But there is no news who did it, what was the point? So this bunch of flower means only, they are good, but they are going to die away, none of my business. It's the existence of the bunch of flower doesn't mean anything to it apart from a temporary enjoyment, but accompanied with a sorrow. Why? They are going to die. I don't know why it is here. But if there's an explanation on it, I am so and so, I am interested in you, you are most valuable in my eye, and I would like to get to know you, that news is there. So what happens now? The subject turns on the other way around. What? You never pay attention to the transience of the flower, the beauty of the flower. It means it is going to die and you are not going to enjoy this beauty anymore. It just gives you despair. But when you receive this message, you don't pay attention even. Yeah, the beauty of the flower represents the love, interest, whatever. That is beautiful. And you know now that it is something else than the flower itself. So you know that the flowers are going to die. Doesn't matter. You got the news now. What? There is a marriage suggestion, an offer. Oh, God, beautiful. Let me see. Yeah. The picture completely changed. That is exactly what this paragraph says. That's exactly what you explained. So we have to understand the importance of the message in order to understand the importance of the eternal life in the hereafter and appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I love the example. It's very I can see the importance of the message now. Thank you for that. Okay, so that was our reading on the belief of the prophethood and how that relates to our understanding, or the relates to the idea of eternity. Now we're actually going to move on to the belief in divine determining. And for that, I'm going to share the reading. I didn't have any graphs for that one. Yeah. Alrighty. So life also looks to the pillar of belief in divine determining and proves it indirectly. Because since life is the light of the manifest world and it dominates it and is the result and aim of existence, and since it is the most comprehensive mirror of the creator of the universe and the most perfect sample and index of dominical activity, and let there be no mistake in the comparison, is like a sort of program, for sure, the mystery of life necessitates that the creatures in the world of the unseen, that is, the past and the future, that is, that have been and will come, are predisposed to conform to order, regularity, being known and observed, specific individual existence, and the creative commands, which are their lives in one respect. So again, I really like how he's been using life. He's just using one thing and he's building or building his understanding of the different pillars of beliefs through that. And here he's focusing on, okay, that all creatures are predisposed to conform to the order, regularity, being known and observed. Everything is following a particular order. I think we've repeated that phrase so many times in our discussions here. And regardless if they come from the past or from the future, if it's something that's about to come, it's something that has been, they're all following that particular order. And he's going to keep explaining that through other examples. I'm going to move on, but if you want to stop me and reflect on anything on this paragraph, let me know, okay? The original seed of a tree and its roots, as well as the seeds contained in its fruit and final outcome, all manifest a sort of life, no less than the tree itself. Again, the original seed of a tree and its root, as well as the seed contained in its fruit, all manifest a sort of life, no less than the tree itself. So I feel like there are sort of degrees of life or stages of life, or we can call them different images of life in the seed of the tree, in the seed of the fruit, and the tree itself. They bear within themselves laws of life more subtle than those of the tree. Similarly, the seeds and roots left by last autumn before the present spring, as well as the seeds and roots that will be left to subsequent springs after the spring has departed, they all bear the manifestations of life, just like the spring, and are subject to the laws of life. In just the same way, all the branches and twigs of the cosmic tree each have a past and a future. They have a chain consisting of past and future stages and circumstances. The multiple existences and stages of each species and each member of each species, existing in divine knowledge, forms a chain of being in God's knowledge. And both its external existence and its existence as God knowledge is a manifestation of universal life that draws all the aspects of its life from these meaningful and vital tablets of divine determining. Wow, okay. So he basically broke it down. He broke it down that each seed, each tree, all of the stages that we see and the circumstances we see, they have a chain, and in each stage of that chain there exists laws of life. So we have laws of life here, and also exist within it divine knowledge. And I see in the word knowledge that to say that there's knowledge in a seed, that's another way of saying there's life in a seed. So I appreciate here the quality of knowledge being brought up. We have a comment saying the original seed of tree is an idea in the mind of God. Life manifests what is alive in physicality. Physicality itself is devoid of life. So God, idea, physical expression containing the idea or life. That's an interesting way of explaining it. But again, I would be a little careful with saying the original seed of tree is an idea in the mind of God. I mean, I don't know, that it would be hard to prove or to say that is true, but we can see from the seed of the tree that there must be knowledge in this, since there's order, there are laws, and all of the things are following the same order. So we can only say, okay, well then whoever made the seed must have the knowledge, must understand the laws, must have the capacity to sustain these laws over and over again. in different forms, from a seed to a fruit, to the actual branches, to the tree, to the weather, and so on and so forth. Thank you very much. Any other reflections?
Don't you have graphs for this?
No, I don't know how I didn't make a graph for this.
Yeah. So I was waiting for your graphs because they are so helpful, mashallah. It may take some time for you, but if you know how to make graphs, it is easy. I don't know, for example, how to make graphs. So anyway, so what I understood from this paragraph, the most important term here, I understood, let me see, it is sorry, this dominical activity, which is strange in English. Did you find the dominical activity somewhere there? On the, yeah, first. Yes, here, no, at the last one. No, it is okay, but only dominical activity. Yeah. Now, what is that now? Dominical activity is the most comprehensive mirror of the creator of the universe and the mirror of the creator of the universe, as you said. We cannot really speculate on God, but what we can see, what we see in the mirror of existence in this form of the universe. So the most perfect sample and index of dominical activity is the life. So what we understand in life, and through life, we are communicating with the universe. So what we see in the universe, knowledge, as you said it, knowledge manifests there. But which kind of knowledge should it be? The answer is very simple. This knowledge, as the creating knowledge or the source of the creator's knowledge, must be infinite. Now, we see that in the order of the universe, nothing else can have any effect, but it is source of existence. Now, it may look a little bit complicated, but nothing else can have an effect, but the source of existence of the universe is giving existence to the whole universe, because otherwise we cannot explain the existence of the universe. And the universe is acting within order, and order reflects knowledge. Which kind of knowledge? The creator's knowledge. Now, we don't know the nature of it, but we know that it must be at least absolute, infinite. So we understand, we conclude from the perfect, if you like, actions going on in the universe, act of creating are going on in the universe, and this is happening through knowledge. And this knowledge must be infinite by definition. It's a logical definition. If it wasn't infinite, it wouldn't be able to give existence within this perfect order. Now, let's understand this now. This absolute knowledge must be organizing everything under his control only, because there is no source of existence in the universe as far as we can see. So every single being is really under the dominical activity of its a source of existence. It means the creator of the universe, by definition, through our, again, intellectual conclusion, must know every single event. That's my conclusion. I'm not speculating about God. What I am not doing here if anything happens in this universe, must be happening under the control or within the capacity of its creator. Something like seed and tree example. Whatever I see in the form is just an analogy. Whatever I see in the tree, it is represented in its seed because it is created through it. This is what I see in this universe. But this example, this analogy, is to be used to understand that every conscious action in the universe, deliberate action in the universe, is already organized by it is knowledgeable, absolutely knowledgeable of creator. That is my conclusion. That is called belief in the predetermination, manifestation of God's will. Nothing else has any will to have a say in the creation of anything. Even human beings try to do something. How do they do it? By obeying the order of the universe. Nothing else. We cannot do anything without obeying, following the order of the universe. We are not really, yes, we are freely choosing, but we are freely choosing only within the order of the universe. We are subject to the order of the universe as well. No one has any kind of quality, any kind of power, authority on the existence of the every single particular of the order, but it is own creator. That is called belief in Qadar. Everything is decided by God, the creator. There must be. That is what the core understanding, very brief understanding of belief in the predetermination, or not predetermination, pre-knowledge, if you like, how it is divine determining. It means everything comes into existence under a being who can be defined only as a divine being, and through his determining how the things should be according to the order, as it manifests itself in the order of the universe. But human freedom is to choose from the order of the universe within a limited field area. But we cannot go out of divine determining, but we can choose. For example, can we avoid death? No. But if something happens, what I do, rather than going this way, I go another way. But both ways, going to the both ways, are equally within the order of the universe. I cannot change the order. I cannot choose anything out of the order of the universe. That is why we have to understand our responsibility in choosing. Now, it is different from deciding how the things should come or should appear in existence. Is totally dependent on its creator's will. This is called divine determining. Now, let's see if it is going to be explained how it is related to our subject of existence of eternity. Inshallah. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. The fact that the world of spirits, which is one form of the world of the unseen, is full of the essence of life, the matter of life, and the spirits, which are the substances and essence of life, demands and requires of a certainty that past and future, which are another form of the world of the unseen, and its second segment, should also receive the manifestation of life. So I feel like he's trying to say everything is given life. past, future, the world of the spirits, the world of the unseen, everything is given life, regardless of the time, regardless of its past, regardless of its future, it's given life. In addition, the perfect order, the meaningful circumstances, and vital fruits and stages inherent in the existence of a thing within God's knowledge also demonstrate the manifestation of a sort of life. So these circumstances that he mentioned before and the stages he mentioned before, again, he's sort of expanding that it is meaningful circumstances. They are vital fruits and stages. It is a perfect order. So it's not just order, it's a perfect order. It's not just circumstances, it's meaningful circumstances, so on and so forth. Such a manifestation of life, which is the light emitted by the Son of eternal life, cannot be limited to this manifest world, this present time, this external existence. So he's saying, okay, if everything is given life, it cannot be limited to just what you're seeing right in front of your eyes. On the contrary, each world receives the manifestation of that light in accordance with its capacity. And the cosmos, together with all its worlds, is alive and illumined through it. Okay, so here he's saying, okay, each world receives the manifestation of that light. What light is he talking about? Again, the light emitted by the Son of eternal life. And how did he get that? Or where did he get that from? From the idea that he sees that everything is given life, and that even the order and the circumstances are perfect and they're meaningful. Otherwise, as the misguided imagine, beneath a temporary and apparent life, each world would be a vast and terrible corpse, a dark ruin. So if everything is just here temporary, then, you know, it's meaningless and it's dark and it's terrible and it's just an unpleasant ending of things. But again, for him to say this, he had to first view life as the essence of the cosmos, and then he slowly showed us how everything within the cosmos is given life. I'll pause here for any questions, reflections. Otherwise, I'll finish the last paragraph. Okay. One broad aspect of the pillar of faith in divine determining and decree is then understood through the mystery of life and established by it. Just as the life and vitality of the manifest world and existent, visible objects becomes apparent from their orderliness and consequences of their existence. I have to say that again. Visible objects becomes apparent from their orderliness and the consequences of their existence. So too past and future creatures, regarded as belonging to the world of the unseen, have an immaterial existence and sort of life, and a spiritual presence in God's knowledge. The trace of this life and presence is made manifest and known by means of the tablet of divine determining and decree, and through all the stages and circumstances of their external lives and existences. Okay, that was it for divine determining. And again, just to sum it up of divine determining and how it relates to the existence of eternity, the key thing to do is to look into life itself and to look at the objects and how they're given life how there is a perfect order and a meaningful circumstance. And then you would have to arrive at the conclusion, well, if everything is so ordered, if there is knowledge in every created thing, then there must be, then time is not a factor here. They can't just come to an end and then go to absolute ruin.
So one example, if you don't mind, because the time is up already, which makes the subject, it looks like a bit ambiguous to me. The subject is not very clear as far as it is in relation to the eternal life in other creation, excuse me. Now, always, since the universe looks like a book, meaningful book, like the paper, it is matter, physicality, physical side of it, and the meaningful sentences, what it refers to its author. So if you conclude that the book is written, book of the universe, is written by one author, but there is no other author can claim that I have written some pages in it, in the universe. There is no other being which we can say that I created something as well. I can create something as well, apart from human pigments, imaginations. We can imagine something, but not in real terms. We can show, no one can show that something is really causing the existence of another thing. Now, if we establish this, so far we have been studying this book has one author. As far as we see that the author's knowledge is endless. So although we are reading one pages in our life, throughout our life, we know that some pages existed before the pages I'm reading. And also, we also know that there will be some more pages to come. And I know that although my connection with the knowledge of the author of the book is limited within a page, which represents the page of my lifespan, but I am absolutely sure that the previous pages include the knowledge, and the following pages include the knowledge of the same author. So if I say this, the universe is, or the book of the universe is written by one author, and I see that there is past, there is future, although I have not read them, I don't know what knowledge is there, but I am absolutely sure that the whole book is written by the author of the whole cosmos, including the past pages, including the future pages. What does it mean now? I am reading one page only, but I want to read the following of the pages. Even I want to become aware of the previous pages, what the knowledge they included. That is within my feeling, human feeling. So what I understand now, since the author of the universe, this book, the author of the universe is the creator, the author of the previous pages and the author of the following pages. And since I want to know, this desire is given to me by him, so my desire to be aware of what he has written, what he has said in the previous pages, and what he is going to say in the last pages, as far as I am clear in the following pages, as far as my limited knowledge is concerned, previous pages are past. The following pages are the future. I don't know, but it doesn't mean that What is written in the whole book is not within the knowledge of the author. It never means this. So the author knows what is going to be presented in the following passages. That is, again, a logical conclusion from my observation of the universe and from my reality. My reality says, I want to know what will be presented in the following pages, and I don't know. But this desire is given to me. This is a promise from the author of the book that through the indication of this desire, he is going to demonstrate the knowledge he presented in the book of the universe in its meanings to me in order to satisfy my desire to know what happened, what will happen. So although in this limited existence, I am confined to the one page I am reading in my lifespan. But I am sure what I am reading here, that the knowledge manifested here must come from an absolute knowledge. So because divine determining means knowing that, becoming aware that the creator must know everything at the same time. The author of the book must know everything at the same time. That is how he arranges the book accordingly. The order of the book, the order of the universe is arranged by the one author who wrote the book chapter by chapter, page by page, and is also presented in the future, whatever will come, because I am not aware of it, but I know whatever will come is within his knowledge already existing. That is my conclusion. I'm not speculating on anything. I'm just observing here and coming to a logical conclusion. From divine determining, absolute knowledge. From absolute knowledge, my desire to know what happened, what will happen, which kind of creator, which kind of author he is, which kind of knowledge he has. This necessitates that my life, my existence cannot be limited to the page I'm reading. That's my conclusion from the whole passage that you presented to us today.
Thank you. The example made it very visible. Thank you. If you can go ahead and close us out with a dua, that would be great. Brother Ali?
There is something written newly in the chat box.
Yes, we have a comment saying the characters from the book, with a capital B, reading about themselves from the book. Very interesting. Know thyself. Yeah. No, I guess let's say know thyself and know thy author. Thank you for your reflection.
Thank you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you, all of you. You presented, and our friend who wrote comments on the chat box. Thank you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum an alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Inshallah.